Ron Berlingo has one of the unique legacies of any coach who's ever been inducted into the Westchester County Sports Hall of Fame. He reached the pinnacle of high school football, sandwiching that career around another career under the brightest lights in professional boxing.
Survived his first round. Tillis still fighting after the bell. Broken up by Steve Smoger. And the crowd here at the Atlantis buzzing after that stunning first round.
Berlingo's legacy locally is as a state champion football coach at Valhalla High School, a title he led the program to in an undefeated 1996. Throughout the 1980s, he was one of the region's premier boxing trainers. Working out at the famed Westchester Boxing Club, Berlingo trained two fighters who had title shots, Carl the Truth Williams and Ronaldo Snipes. A standout football player at White Plains High School and Springfield College, Berlingo became an accomplished amateur boxer. He was a runner-up in the Golden Gloves and competed in the National Golden Gloves event, representing New England. Berlingo, though, left the ring as a fighter, and he took a job as a teacher and head football coach at Valhalla High School in the late 1970s, launching the next phase of a Hall of Fame career.
Well, I knew him as a student. I went here at Valhalla, and he was a great teacher, and I wish he was my football coach back then when I played here. Incredible coach. The kids loved him. Coaches loved him. You know, we had fun while also obviously being a very good team.
After a successful 7-year stretch, he stepped down as coach to pursue boxing, first as a promoter and then a trainer.
Even when he was training Carl the Truth Williams and Ronaldo Snipes, and he wasn't in school talking about it. He was doing his thing. He knew what he was doing and how good he was at it, and the same with football.
While still working as a phys ed teacher throughout at Valhalla High School, Berlingo decided in 1993 it was time to leave the corner and return to the sideline. Immediately, Berlingo changed the culture of Valhalla football.
When did you know, and when did he start making you guys believe that you could win a state championship?
I would say in 1993 when he came back. He brought me up. I was a ninth grader. He brought me up, and just the influence. He even called that team the pivot team. That's when he established the idea of a program and to contribute to the program.
He got the most out of his athletes. The kids knew he cared about them. He got us back on track.
Coach, when you call him coach to this day, something's really good about that. I've worked with some famous coaches throughout Westchester over the years, and Coach Berlingo's right up there with the best. He remembers kids to this day from 1970s till 96. He was a role model for a lot of us, like myself and Bobby. We went into the field. One reason is because of him.
We just wouldn't practice football. He'd talk about the Civil War. In the middle of a drill, he'd stop and tell a boxing story. He trained champion boxers. So, it was never boring.
Berlingo quickly rebuilt the Vikings program, and entering the 1996 season, Valhalla was tabbed as a contender in Section 1 Class D. That contender would soon become a real threat, and then a section finalist, then a section champ, then region champ, and then a state finalist, and then finally the best in New York State, all the while taking over the school and the town. Berlingo's impact was felt all over.
The run through the playoffs just was magical. We knew how good we were. And even when we went up and played Cal Mum, they were supposed to beat us by 40. Nobody really cared.
We didn't back down from anybody. You get punched in the mouth, you go back for more, and you keep hitting and hitting. That was all him. His boxing background, he always, instilled toughness on us. You fall down, you get back up as soon as you can. You go hit somebody, you keep hitting, you play to the whistles.
Knowing him as much as I do over the years, he didn't take any credit. It was everyone else, the players, the other coaches, the parents, the community, even though without him, we're not there.
Berlingo retired from Valhalla for good in 2000, winning 74% of his games during that 7-year stretch, but also forging relationships with players that have grown stronger even today.
And as great of a man as he is also, he just loved it for the kids. And I think it's great for the players that put him up for this. A bunch of them are still around. They live in town. I see a bunch of them still around here. And, for him, it's an honor that he deserves.
His legacy. So many people actually work here that either played for him or coached with him or worked with him. And you don't hear a bad word ever. And he showed you can be a teacher and a role model and be successful and be well-liked all at the same time.
I've coached now football for 30 years, and I've taken what I've learned from him And, you know, I coached here for 14 years, and then I went up to Connecticut with my sons for 14 years. We won 3 state championships up there. You know, I've taken what I've learned from him, and that's all I do now. And, you know, it's been successful.